Welcome to the Same Snob Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the show. This is the Scene Snobs Podcast. I am your host, Mick Manhattan. He is your host, Casey the Madman. We're here, the dynamic duo. I'm going to fix our screen just a little bit, get the logo in the background there. He's dressed nice. He's wearing a sport jacket, and I'm dressed in a baseball shirt that I just felt like wearing today.
Well, it's absolutely, man. This is, announcement day. A lot going on.
I mean, you got your hair all nice and everything.
Oh, well, that's only because I tried a really bad ponytail. It's my first one. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. With the scrunchie from my daughter. So
you have Riggs hair now.
Yes, sir. I'm there, buddy. Oh, it flows. It's beautiful. After conditioned, it's fantastic. And I've learned the miracle of dry shampoo. It's like my life has changed.
For anybody who doesn't know, which is anybody except for Casey and I, and pretty much all the kids at the laser tag on in Manassas.
They learned a lot of valuable lessons that day.
We used to do some fun stuff. We used to reenact during laser tag the final scene in Lethal Weapon 2.
Because it should always be reenacted.
It should always be and these kids, because we're clearly old people reenacting a movie from 30 years ago, had no idea what they were in store for.
Nope, no idea. I'm pretty sure a couple of them tried to check on us, like, "Oh no, are you all right?" And then they learned some hard lessons because we smoked them in laser tag.
Oh, we really did, because they were all confused, and then we just started shooting. And I would stare down that 4-year-old holding that big gun and just be like, "It's just been revoked."
Well, you used your eyes to do that. I actually physically just shoved them down.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. Remember, and now, mind you, we did not go in costume. I did not go in full costume. I wore a suit.
Someone went in costume.
Fake mustache. Casey, although, looked like Mel Gibson himself in what he was wearing. And that is just kind of how we did things back then. There was always a lot of fun. I miss those days.
Well, once COVID's done, we got to go smoke some more kids and treat them like younglings via Anakin.
Oh my God! Oh, please! Did you ever see that meme where it's with the Quest 2, the Oculus Quest 2, and it's just like, now reenact your favorite films from Star Wars, and it goes right to the lightsaber lit up with the kids.
See, that's amazing. I think if they marketed that harder, I would have been in.
How do you feel about the Oculus Quest 2? Because I'm hearing really fun things, but I've only messed with, and you might have messed with more after me, but that first generation.
Yeah, the Oculus is fantastic. I've really enjoyed what they've done. The Quest, I'm not really familiar with. I haven't tried it, but everyone I've spoken to loves it. I still love that, but the HTC Vive is big. There's a new Steam is coming out with a VR. Everyone's got VR now. And we're at a level of generation where, one more year and it's just going to be, that's the new world we can exist in.
Yeah. It's just crazy everything I'm seeing with it.
We're getting closer to the point where they have the new controls actually, it's just big rings on your hand and there's no real buttons. It's all in how you move your fingers that does all the buttoning. It's phenomenal. And we're so close to getting the feedback suits so we can actually, start feeling what we're going through. And then after that, we're just going to live in stacks in, Ohio, and that's it. It's over.
My favorite movie of 2017, and I don't care what anybody says, I loved that movie.
It was amazing.
And I can't wait to read the second book. It just came out recently.
Oh, cool.
So I got to see what happens.
Someone was telling me that the first book was way better than the movie, and I'm like, well, I don't know. That's an homage to Spielberg. I kind of love that movie. So
yeah, well, you know what it is? They're different in a lot of ways. Because I remember Loot Crate gave out that book for the video game box years ago, and I had no idea what it was. And then when the movie was coming out, I read the book because you know me, I'm not really a video game guy. Mm-hmm. So I read the book and I was like, this is pretty good. And then I saw the movie and I was like, I like this too. Like, it's different, but I like it.
Yeah, it was very different. It was a lot of fun. And especially with, video games things, I'm a huge nerd like that. So all about my video games. It's very fitting.
Yeah, oh my God, and all the pop culture that they had in that movie was just like, it leaked out.
Oh, it was
Oh my God.
mind-boggling. It was great trying to, like, I'm on maybe my 17th rewatch, and I still am learning stuff, seeing stuff, and going, oh, wait a minute, there's that thing from the, oh, gosh.
Well, I will say this. I want a sequel. I want Spielberg back for it. I think it will be amazing.
I think it would be neat if they did an homage to all the different massive directors. So instead of Spielberg, or Spielberg can direct it, but make it an homage to all of, I don't know, George Lucas, or, find a different director, ooh, let's do an homage to M. Night Shyamalan. Everyone loves his.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Oh God, those aliens running all around. Oh, pour water on them. That's how you get
water.
rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
You have water. Ooh, so here you go. You got Signs and Lady in the Water. Boop. Immediately repel each other. Well, that movie's already solved. Next.
Then Bruce Campbell comes in and it's just like, not Bruce. Oh man, I just besmirched the great Bruce Campbell.
Way better if Bruce Campbell comes in.
He should have been in break. I mean, Bruce Willis is cool too, but Brian says it's awesome. It is awesome. The whole movie is awesome. The book is awesome. Everything's awesome. And I'm awesome. And Casey's awesome. And that's what we're doing here today. Whoa. You made a change, and I just saw it. I just noticed the Easter egg.
Yeah,
and we were talking about it through text the other day. You put up the Revenge of the Sith poster.
I did indeed. It deserves a place of honor. It looked right. I had to take down, Next Gen. It was time. Star Trek got like 5 shows, and I meant to try to keep swapping these out a lot because I have a lot of art, a lot of things I want to post. Like I love this guy, my little Spider-Man.
Nice.
Not always so frequently seen. Yeah, right. There's some more here if I reposition the cameras. Whoop, 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 whoop. There's my Leia and my, it's over here. Whoop. I got to get better about this camera thing. And this one's actually one of my favorites. This is a Vader done by Stuart Sager, watercolor Vader. I love it. Fantastic artist.
Well, you have some great work, and you go out to the conventions and grab them all up, and it's just, there's so many great artists in the area too, especially.
Oh, yeah.
I will say this though, you did mention Spider-Man, which is always a plus in my book, but and we will get to that. So everybody who knows, we just started a Patreon here for the Scene Snobs. So if you are inclined and you really like our shows, we're doing extra shows for the Patreon. We're going to be doing the Disney announcements, and we're going to be getting into Spider-Man and kind of all the announcements that just went into that. Mm-hmm. That alone was enough announcements to kind of cover everybody.
It was outrageous. I think I've watched the entire announce thing like 3 times now to try to like take it all in, soak it all in, see all the trailers been hitting like crazy, the teaser trailers. So just checking those out constantly. One of the other things I want to mention about the Patreon is let's make sure everybody, if you'd be so inclined, it's really pitching in and helping Mike buy some coffee. The man needs coffee. Yeah. Look at him. He's beautiful looking, but he's tired. So let's just help him out. Help out our tired Mike. Watch us prattle on for a little bit. Get your kicks. Have a blast. And buy that man some coffee.
We are on there too. We are on Buy Me Coffee. So if you do feel inclined to support there, every little bit helps. And it definitely helps with the channel because it all goes towards that and kind of doing, trust me, it's not a matter of buying the new Oculus with that money. It's paying for the stuff that we need to do here. So got a lot of great people on the show, and we want to keep everybody going. But the tiers, we are giving back, and we're going to have some really cool stuff. So go check out our Patreon. All the tiers are there. We have tiers for the different shows. Right now, it's Scene Snobs interviews. You get early access to all the interviews before Sunday night, before they go out. You get 3 days before. You get on the Scene Snobs podcast, you get a bunch of stuff. Casey and I are going to be doing an extra show. We're going to be doing other stuff, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then Behind the Box, we're going to also be doing a very cool movie brackets tournament, which we'll bring on other hosts like Casey and Len and I will be there, and some other guests to come on and kind of we'll do tournament style brackets. So that's all going to be on the Patreon. Go check us out. The links are up on the website, thescenesnobs.com. But we're here to talk about some fun things, and I want to get Christmassy, if I will, for a moment for the first topic, because the first topic, and I'm really interested to tell you what mine is,
Mm-hmm.
and to hear what yours is. And I want to talk about the Grinch. Now, the Grinch has been redone. That perfectly coiffed hair. You do not mess with that perfectly coiffed hair.
Okay, fair. I was going to pull this out because of
I know.
announcements and stuff, but we'll wait. It feels nice. Like having it pulled back, this whole ponytail thing. I'm sorry. I'm elated. This is nuts. This is the first time I've been able to do this. And it's with a scrunchie, no less.
You've had 30 years to be able to do it. Now all of a sudden you choose now. What?
Because I'm in quarantine and I don't have to worry about seeing anybody. Most people I deal with are at work and they just see me and, they're used to me being disheveled, gross, freaking out, on fire, sweating. So, at this point, the mustache and ponytail is nothing.
Everybody has a mullet at that point.
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah, I grow out my hair and then I get mad and then I shave it. That's just how it goes.
It's like you Britney Spears on a small level constantly. It's a cycle.
I just get so annoyed and I'm like, I'm shaving everything.
But then you get this sweet freaking goatee that's just outrageously awesome. It's not even fair.
I do like my goatee more than I like my full beard. My full beard kind of gets annoying. It gets puffy, and I like the goatee. It's easy to manage. So welcome to the Goatee Podcast.
Party of one, because I got nothing here.
We talk about goatees all night long.
Ridiculous facial hair. Hi. Wait a minute. Seed stops. Nope.
Well, our first topic tonight, I definitely want to touch down on is which Grinch is the best. Which version of the Grinch is the best? And everybody who's watching, please feel free to chime in on the comments. We will listen and we will definitely talk about it with you. And Casey, I'm going to start with you, man. Which Grinch is your favorite?
So I took some time with this one. We brought it up the other day, and I had to kind of really rifle through the old Brainadex. I started. River and I have been watching the new animated Grinch. That's like her jam. She loves that. So I jumped in on that, and as much as I enjoy Benedict Cumberbatch, and it is a good Grinch, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. Yeah. Jim Carrey's Grinch was very strong. I was a big fan of Jim Carrey's Grinch because Jim Carrey's Grinch, it brought a lot of noise, and I love the world that they were in. Like, I thought that was fantastic. And he was able to Seuss very well with his bibbidi-bobbaloops and whatnot. Yeah. So he was fantastic with his role. And when he was vindictive, he was a very good vindictive. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is a little more terrifying. He can actually be a little more intimidating as opposed to Jim Carrey's version, which is just grumbles and complaining and whining. There's a lot more whining in that one. I had to go back to the OG though, man. Straight up for me, it's Boris Karloff. That dude's Mr. Grinch is just fantastic. I love his Grinch, especially because he doesn't actually talk as much.
That's actually true. Listen, I'm not going to besmirch in any way, shape, or form the great Boris Karloff, and it just adds to the wonderfulness that in the 66 version he was the narrator and he was the Grinch. I don't think that anybody else at that time for that special could do that role. Agreed. And I think that was proven because they did the Halloween Grinch, which counts in this, people. It counts in this if you want to do it, because that is a version of the Grinch. And that was the 70s version. Halloween is Grinch Night. And it wasn't Boris Karloff who did it. I don't know who did it at that time. But for me, they get let me fix that because I'm getting a little feedback. For me, it's the Grinch is Jim Carrey.
Really?
Jim Carrey's version of the Grinch, I think, is the best version.
Okay.
Yes, he is a whiner. Yes, he is a complainer, but it's done hilariously throughout.
Absolutely.
And I can accept it if it's mocking. Now, for me, why is that the best version? It's because it tells the whole tale. Mm-hmm. It still gives you the beats that work with Dr. Seuss's book. Mm-hmm. You get a more in-depth look at all the Who's lives in Whoville.
Which is something that Ron Howard did fantastically. Maybe I took this wrong because I was thinking character. not the entire world built movie wise. So I was going for the specific who Grinch. Which
well,
Grinch?
yes, no, it is the Grinch. The reason I'm saying is because the worlds that we see in them, they at least built the Grinch to who he was. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because in the original version, you don't really know why he hates them, other than he's a Grinch.
Right.
Other than he just is the dick who sits on top of the mountain.
Which I think we all can agree is more reality, because sometimes people are just dicks. They don't need a backstory. You don't need to have a reason to be a Grinch. You are a Grinch.
Yeah, well, but I do like the backstory they added. I like the backstory that he was treated like crap. He was picked on. Like, yeah, he always kind of had a thing with Christmas and just being kind of mischievous, but he hated them. He's like, you picked on me and I hate you for it. And I think that added to it. And I like the idea of, like, not just Cindy Lou Who waking up, but actually putting her in the forefront as a reason why, her support helped turn him was big for me.
I can see that, absolutely. And it's very well done. And Taylor, what's her name?
Swift?
No, definitely not her. The other one who loses her mind, the little Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch.
Yeah, that's I don't know her name.
The one who just kind of freaked out. Taylor mom something. She said mama, but she kind of lost her mind and went crazy, and she Grinched herself a little bit. So maybe that is a more powerful movie because it screwed people up.
Taylor Momsen.
That's the one.
Did you hate her because she was on Gossip Girl?
That's exactly why, of course. You know me and Gossip Girl. We'll forever rail against that and Pretty Little Liars.
Remind me later to go on my CW rant.
Oh, there's a good one there. I'm excited for it.
I have a rant for you.
Sounds like a good Patreon exclusive.
Let's see what some people are saying. Facebook user. We love you, Facebook user.
You're our favorite.
Now, you're saying 70s Grinch, so I'm thinking you mean the 66 version, but I'm going to count the Halloween Grinch for this one. He gets a point on this.
You can't. What? No, clearly, Facebook user meant my Grinch.
No,
which is
no.
The standard Grinch.
You're going to get another point. Relax. And Gerard is on, and Gerard's saying the ugly Grinch as a kid took me out. Yeah, he was awesome. He was such a dick. It was great. And it was just wonderful. Casey speaks the truth. Some people are just crappy.
Sometimes you're just a Grinch for a Grinch.
True. That's true. I can't take that out. But if you're a Grinch just to be a Grinch, do you have a change of heart that quickly? There was nothing at stake there for him to be a hero.
If you're someone who's been consistently unloved and maybe never felt that and you're bothered more by the togetherness of holidays because the people that you're supposed to be together with kind of crapped on you in life and you never really pushed forward and you were never good at building those relationships, then yeah, you could instantly grow because someone was willing to be kind to you.
All right, fine, whatever. I'm telling you right now, my Grinch is still going to be Jim Carrey's, but Reign Supreme still is the 66 version. All right, I'll give that one to you, Case, because I'm not really giving it to you.
Well, I think Jared and Facebook user won it. You earned it. Yeah, you earned it.
Scrooge changed overnight. Yeah, you know what Scrooge had to go through? No, all right.
No. That's bullcorn. Because of course Scrooge changed overnight because he went through years of being wrong, and all he was shown was how wrong he was. That's it. That's not what he had to go through. He just had to actually, come to Jesus. He had to look at himself, staring in the fire, then actually be legit with himself and say, "Oh, I'm the problem."
Yeah, that's legit. And it took 3 ghosts, one of them being death, to show up and be like, yeah, dude, your life is really going to suck.
I don't know. Look, that took place during some Dickensian business, so he could have just been hopped up on, I don't know, like some lead poisoning.
Can we? Yeah, that's legit. Can we just make that time era Dickensian now?
Oh, yeah,
Can we just call it that?
Yep.
I don't know what it is. Was it Victorian or was it?
Yeah, that was Victorian era. Because no, not Elizabethan. Elizabethan was 1400s, and this was more 1800s.
Oh.
So that's a Victorian era.
Time.
It's so weird, right?
Time.
It just goes.
The hell with time. So Victorian. Yeah, I mean, actually, I did know that because Doctor Who went and visited.
Of course you do.
That's the only reason I know that, because it's a Victorian era dress.
Go ahead. That was with Martha, correct?
No, that was Bill Piper. That was Rose.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
That was early on. That was first season.
Dang.
And Gerard says the 80s Scrooge with Bill Murray. So Scrooged. Mm-hmm. I'm just picking on you, buddy. Yeah, that's a great version. Great version. But look at the hell he had to go through to change.
Okay, first of all, we've covered this before, that anybody who has to deal with Buster Keaton driving you awkwardly with that giant stove just as a taxi driver freaking out the whole way. Yeah, no, that's enough. The other part of that is I'm pretty sure because of the 80s, blow. So obviously Bill Murray's Scrooge was just yayed up and went real crazy with the booze, and he wound up probably someone stuck something up his butt, and he was like, woohoo, I'm just tripping. So that's all he was doing. That was just a really bad acid trip.
But not just that, like, he was a TV executive.
Right. So he's definitely on cocaine.
So there's definitely cocaine. There's no 100%. Doubt about the cocaine there.
Yep.
And most of those people were on Saturday Night Live. So definitely cocaine.
Yeah. I mean, when they say it's snowing, it was some Chevy Chase snow.
Man, can you even imagine?
So
that's what the snow was. That's what the snow was in Christmas Vacation.
Exactly. He just kept throwing bags of blow. That's why in every scene he's going, hi.
He's just pissed off the whole time. So now we've established not only is that the 66 Grinch reigned supreme, but there was lots of cocaine in 80s Christmas movies.
Yep, and you're
welcome.
We
can say that, right?
Safely, yeah.
Because just Christmas Vacation, just Scrooged, and just Lethal Weapon, which had tons of cocaine and is definitely a Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah.
Blowing it. Oh, and Die Hard.
Die Hard. I mean, dude is doing blow.
Yeah, he's wiping his nose. He says missed some. Oh, Ellis. It's too bad you were shot in the head.
I don't know. I was okay with it.
Shot in the head, was it 32 years ago?
Hans Booby.
He gets the Coca-Cola. Like, come on, dude. You just like Coke all around then. That's kind of how this goes.
He's just a Coke guy.
I tell you what, when we started this podcast, I did not expect to talk this much about Coke, but I'm not upset about it either.
Well, we're talking about 80s movies. I mean, it kind of hand in hand.
Listen, I'm going to just put this off to the side here.
No, we're a little less Christmassy.
Yeah, we're getting a little less Christmassy. I don't want to besmirch.
I don't know. We're still talking about snowing.
Well, you know where it was definitely snowing? With old Bing over at the White Christmas. We all know what that White Christmas meant.
Absolutely.
The rails were jumping.
All it was the crazy, like, the house lady just dumping these giant kilos right outside of the barn. That's all she was doing. Like, oh, well, hey there, we're going to go ahead and do this for the general. And I mean, she was all yayed up the whole movie.
5 seconds after this party ends, everybody's going to remember there's no snow. I got to do something. And that general's just got the stash in the back.
Well, that's why they were able to keep the hotel open. It was a front.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? The Vermont connection. Oh, we need a backstory to that.
Way better movie idea now.
Any filmmakers watching or listening, please make this movie, The Vermont Connection. And then it's just all the behind the scenes of the drug trade in White Christmas.
The drug trade during Christmas in Vermont. That's
how funny is it if you tell that story of, was it the general, the old woman who works at the front desk? He didn't have a wife. Yeah, it was just an old woman who worked.
Granddaughter? Did he have a granddaughter?
His granddaughter, but didn't have kids there. So those three just trying to hide the cocaine trafficking that they have going on behind the scenes. And like, they don't want anybody there because everything's paid for with the cocaine trade. And it's all just laundered through the thing. But now his two buddies from the army show up and I want to put on this big show and stay there and have like hundreds of people stay there. and they're like, "Oh, we gotta hide this."
Well, the best part is how they all got in, and yet how many got out. Welcome to White Christmas. Danny Kaye dead. Like, I mean,
so many. Danny Kaye joined the fold, man. He was like,
no,
"All right,
no, I'm pretty sure he was the one who was trying to fight back. Bing is the one who was all about joining in, only because he saw his boys' entrails ripped open and laid out in the snow.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
Cartel Christmas.
Sisters. Oh, so
I'm ruining my favorite Christmas movie.
I know, but in such a beautiful way. I mean,
oh, absolutely, it's fantastic.
So, all right, so let me ask you this then, as we're going on, I don't want to talk about Disney announcements because we're saving that for the Patreon episode, so everybody can go check that out. That's the event access show tier. But I do want to talk about one thing that Disney kind of leaked out a little bit, and that is one of our favorite shows, which you had just shown us a few minutes ago. A little Easter egg there. Firefly may be coming back. Dude. When I saw that, so out of all the things I saw, I read this. And as a Firefly fan, let's try that again. As a Firefly fan, I am seeing this reboot as problematic. Firefly is something that was 13 episodes, should have been a lot more. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But the great saga of it is the fact that we got a movie 2 years later, the feature film that, sure, it didn't, break any huge barriers. It didn't do anything nuts, but it was the first time, to my understanding, that a movie came out after a canceled TV show. Yeah, well, I don't know if that's the case. I'd have to go back and check. Maybe not first. I'm not saying it's not. It might have been, but it's definitely one that came out and was much bigger. Mm-hmm. Like I'm thinking maybe TV movies and stuff like that. But fair. This one was just one of those deals where even that little intro by Joss Whedon saying, we are mighty for doing this. It was that idea of brown coats. There's a crew of people that we can all identify together as being huge Firefly fans, and we call ourselves brown coats, and it's fantastic. Yeah. And the fact that they're going to take that, the thing that made this show was the family that was created in it. And everything the few things I've read is that Disney wants to make this a more family friendly. They want to remove the PG-13 aspect, so characters like Inara Sarah will be gone. They want to potentially revamp the entire thing and reboot it. So honestly, that's not the Firefly I want. That's not my show. That's not going to... Now, if they follow a different crew and only mention Serenity in passing, and we actually hear, Mal Reynolds voiced by Nathan Fillion, cool. But they're talking about reboot as a new cast, same characters. Not okay with that. Yeah, I'm pushing back hard on that. I read that with the absolute utter joy when I realized, well, Disney got 21st Century Fox, which means they got Firefly, and we could finally get something. I read that and went, I don't want this. This is not the thing I want. Well, this is part of the conversation I wanted to have with you. Okay. Because Dexter is also coming back. That's another one that's kind of being rebooted. Still going to have Michael C. Hall and probably some of the survivors, but it's coming back as a reboot, or not a reboot, but like another season, which is essentially what Firefly is doing. They're trying to extend the lore, but with new actors, right? And just destroying it. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think putting these out there it works? I don't want to see Dexter come back. Dexter broke my heart. Yeah. See, Dexter left such a bad taste in my mouth. So when you say Dexter, I have had to boil it down to 3 seasons. And there's only 3 seasons of that show that exist now in my world because they did so much damage with that finale. They did so much hurt in the last 3 episodes of the entire series and managed to basically flip Dexter on its head and make it a insult. They insulted the viewers in Dexter. They legitimately said, you know what? You people don't count. We're going to do whatever we want, and you'll enjoy it no matter what. And it was crap. It was a rushed, shoddy ending.
It did not give anyone the proper amount of respect that the characters deserved, much less the actors, who did a fantastic job portraying those characters that I was on the edge of my seat for the entire time. Even midway through the final season, I was like, hey, they could still recover. It's still fine. This is still decent. I see where they're going. They could make this work. And instead, they just randomly throw in a shoehorn backlick ending that means nothing and essentially hurt an entire series with a very crap and insulting finale. So the idea they want to revisit Dexter, if they wanted to do it in a movie to just undo and redo the finale, okay, cool. But you want to try to do a whole nother series? I don't trust you. I don't trust what you're going to try and do, and I have no desire to watch it. Firefly, I think, is a terrible idea. If you're going to do anything that involves that original crew, and it's not going to be one of those people portraying those characters, you're doing a terrible job, and I have no desire to see it.
Yeah. It's so crazy that it comes from people who are giving us like great things like Mandalorian and stuff too. But they also are, they did give us the last trilogy of Star Wars. So
easy, it wasn't that bad. I don't know why everyone's pooping on it. I liked it, man.
Listen, The Last Jedi is one of the best Star Trek episodes I've ever seen. But that premise belongs in a Star Trek world.
I think there were things done wrong in the second one because continuity went to poo, and that's unfortunate because you really need that episodic show that we didn't get. There's a saga behind Star Wars, man. There's this whole giant, great, rich, just so much to pull from. At least with the first three, the only thing they screwed up was a character that did a lot of hurt. You know what I mean? If we're looking at Jar Jar as being one of the worst parts of the original of 1, 2, and 3, I think we did pretty well. We made out okay.
That is true. We did go way after a while.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the last three, that middle one, The Last Jedi, which I still like as a movie, really hurt the final saga. It really put a damper on it because it created this disjointed thing where now in the final movie, Rise of Skywalker, now they have to do a lot of backtracking. Now they've got an extra 25 minutes of just trying to fill and correct storyline. And that, you can feel that, and that hurts and detracts from the story. And it's, we as the viewers are not that dumb. we don't just want big spaceship battles. That's a Transformers thing. Giant dumb story with just big action. That's a Michael Bay thing. Star Wars fans, we don't deal with that. It's not our ballywick, as the kids say. I don't actually know if kids say that. My child keeps telling me that it's not what they say, so I think I'm not hip. But
we should do an episode just on the Transformers movies because I just rewatched them, and we could have some fun with that one.
I still haven't even finished Last Night.
Last night's Transformers? Was there one last night?
Yeah, The Last Night. Is that what it's called? The Last Night? You mean Last Night.
I swear to God, we didn't work that out. That would just be too cheesy. I'm literally just like, wait, what came out last night?
What the hell happened last night? Where are we? What is this? Why is this camera yelling at me?
After rewatching, we went back and rewatched the 86 Transformers movie.
Ooh, yeah. You got the power.
God, do not get me sued. So yeah, that was fun. And the kids were not, I did not tell them. They were not expecting Optimus to just go. They were like, he comes back, right? And I'm like, no. It's like, no, not until Beast Wars.
When Gorilla Prime shows up.
Yeah, it's a long ways off. But and they're like, what's Beast Wars? I was like, no, I'm not going down there.
No, that animation was miserable. We're not playing that game.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna. I love that high note. So there you go, Case. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man.
I will say, getting off of Transformers and kind of getting off Star Wars too, going back to like Firefly, Dexter, things like that. I don't know if it's just. All right. So here's the thing. Here's my thing with Dexter. Their relationship, getting married, Jennifer Carpenter and Michael C. Hall, ruined that show. The reason being is because they got married and like 3 months later they got divorced, and you can tell at what point, because if you follow along like when it happened.
Was that season 3?
No, that was season not season 5. I think season 5 they were dating. Season 6 they got married. Season 7 they got divorced, and then you get season 7 and 8. which they still had to, because you can't separate them. You can't separate Deb and Dexter.
That's such an important relationship. And that's the unfortunate, you are 100% correct, because beginning of season 8, there's just that chemistry shot. It went to poo.
Yeah. And it just didn't work. And they were trying to force it to make it work. And I'm rewatching them all right now. We're on season 8. And after season 4, I was just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
My wife's just like, no, we have to watch it. I'm like, fine, whatever. So I'm rewatching them, and I see the beats. I see when they were dating. I see when they were, because you can see how they're acting towards each other. And they even tried to play that little, well, Deb's in love with Dexter.
Yeah, well, I remember that. Yeah.
And I was just like, Jesus. And then he gives his kid to Hannah. And it's just like, go to Paris and I'll meet you there. And then doesn't show up. He becomes a lumberjack. Yeah. Shit like that. I'm just like, come on, man. Really?
Yeah. And after all the talk about what his son was going to be and what his kid was going to do and how it was going to change him after Julie Benz dies. They had so much potential for season 4 and 5. Actually, 5 could have been freaking phenomenal. They just all started taking hits.
Well, it was funny because we were watching it, and when Rita died, Rita is not a great character. Go back and watch her character. She's kind of a shitty person.
A little bit.
I'm not saying we had, and I think everybody who watches the show has to do the same thing where we had to kind of remember, he is a serial killer.
Well, yeah, I mean, your tentpole character, the titular character is just murdering people, so.
But
if you're saying a bad person, to what degree of bad person?
But for me, it's she was still kind of shitty, and I get her reasoning, but she could be really mean, especially in that 3rd season to Dexter. And it's just come on, and then in season 4, even when she kisses the other guy, but she's being mean to Dexter. I'm like, all right. I mean, now you're just kind of shitty. But the thing is, Julie Benz is one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life.
You've said.
And when she still dies, I'm still teary-eyed because I'm like, she's such a nice person.
Well, I have to agree with one of our commenters here. Long live Darla.
Yep. Nicole Francisco. Long live Darla. We are with you on that one. Always.
Darla's the bomb. She was one of the coolest vampires ever.
Darla had such a great arc in both shows, in both Buffy and we should do a Patreon episode just on Buffy. We could go for Buffy and Angel. We can go forever.
That would be like a 4-hour show. Who would watch that? Perhaps you.
I love it.
Right.
That's why Casey is the madman, because he knows how to pull off all the looks. Ponytail, just looking into the camera. It's not cliche with him.
So let me just say that when I did actually pull this ponytail back and looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, oh, I've become that weird dad who's over the hill, who's trying to be hip, but he's recapturing and clinging on to those last precious moments of youth before I begin to just gray and get fat. And, my nuts are down to my knees, and it's just all downhill from there.
Listen, ladies. Casey the Madman is just let's get this man married because he deserves it. This is Ted. It works
that way, but
this is Ted from How I Met Your Mother, less annoying. Let's make it work. See, there you go. I did that. I did that.
All right, thanks, bro. Was not expecting that.
No, you have to go. Ladies, let me ask you a question. Are you on Twinder swiping left over and over again? Do you want a pseudo internet celebrity?
Are you tired of swimming in that giant pond of fish? Well, find yourself a guppy.
Come on, sunfish at least. Give yourself some credit. Get some confidence, man. Gerard says, but then you get the best old man stories. That is true. Casey is an old soul. That is for sure. And then he goes,
Twinder. Yes, I'm so glad you caught that. I was really hoping, dude. You said Twinder, and I was like, "What are you old? Are you doing an old man impression? Like when you're swiping left on the Twinders, you're that match dot who's it come or whatever."
I am not. That was not me pretending to be an old man impression. That was a straight up old man. I am after Twinder. You knew me when I was single. I wasn't I said it again.
You're just going to keep saying it now.
It's Tinder. It's Tinder. All right, I'm good. So I was not a Tinder guy. I was a go out and meet guy. Mm-hmm. You know, like I didn't really do online dating or anything like that. So you knew that. You knew me when I was single. But Tinder was coming in towards the end of that before I met my wife. So I never really had anything to do with it. So Twinder it is.
Twinder now.
It's Twinder.
Twinder's the new dating app for twins. So if it's either a 2-for-1 you're looking for, or maybe a match set, welcome to Twinder.
Well, I can tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching, I don't want your date, but I want your follow on Twitter at the Scene Snob. Oh man, this should be I'm going to isolate that and make it a
We've got like 9 ISOs already we could pull from this show. It's been Maloney.
So I can play one right now. It's so much fun. I'm going to do it because I don't care, because that's what we do here. Ready?
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, part 6. And you're listening to thescenesnobs.com.
Bro, I am so stoked for that. You know who I want now? We got to get Nick Castle. We got to get Dean Cundy. We got to get
Dean. I can probably get Dean.
John Carpenter.
I'm friends with his son, so maybe.
Oh my
goodness.
We'll
talk about that off the air. I'm not.
Wait,
I don't
then that can connect you with Jamie Lee Curtis, who is going to bring us to our next topic. How about some of our favorite feel-good movies?
But here's the thing. There's a twist to this one. It's not just feel-good movies. It's feel-good movies that are unlikely sources. Like those movies that, like, when you say that and you should be like, man, this movie always makes me feel good. People are like, really?
See, you and I had this discussion, and I just to let everybody else in the podcastian world arena know. So we had the discussion about what we were going to do and what we were going to talk about. And I had been watching one of my favorite movies, which we'll get to. You had been watching one of your favorite movies, which we'll get to. We've also discussed which Christmas worlds we want to live in. Mine, of course, being Hallmark, because where else can you feel better?
Christmas with the Cranks.
Bingo. So we discussed this and kicked this idea around of like, what kind of movie is it that you can just put on and go from funk to good mood? At any point, at any portion of the movie, you can just pop in and go, I love this movie and I'm watching it. So it's not just a movie you feel like you have to stop and watch. Braveheart, Shawshank. Those aren't really feel-good movies.
No, they're movies you like to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. So this discussion, I think, because I really got freaking deep on this, man, was what is the movie that you can put on and no matter your mood, it will balance you or somehow make you just get in the feels. It'll put you right in your heart area, maybe a little lower in the cockle area, perhaps the subcockle area. We really don't know.
The thing that you're putting on Twinder. That's exactly. Dead air, everybody.
I was just waiting for it. I mean, we got Jared over here talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas, best feel-good movie for him. And I understand that, Jared. I also think you're terribly wrong because I disagree with your choice.
It is a weird one, though. A lot of people fight me. Well, he will tomorrow night when he's on the box.
I know. We're going to go at it.
So, okay. Nicole says Rent. That's a good one because it's such a downer movie, but there is a lot to keep you going. I like that choice because I love Rent. I think
Rent's fantastic.
I like the movie. A lot of people.
The movie was great. I mean, I understand that people were upset because certain characters didn't get their just due, but quite frankly, Rosario Dawson crushed it. I loved her.
I love everything she's in. Wait. Okay. Gerard says, "Wait, of all time, Barry Gordy's Last Dragon." Another one that is kind of out there. But that's what I'd like because you have a feel good movie that is just strange. Okay, so for me, I was feeling down this weekend, and Casey knows this. One of my go-tos every time I'm feeling a little down is RoboCop. It's in my top 10 movies of all time. A lot of people look at that like you're what? Like that's in your top 10. I don't think a lot of people understand it fully. I think the geeks do, of course, like us and stuff like that. But I think a lot of filmmakers who still like it, and I talk to them about it, but like don't fully get all the subtext of the movie that goes along with it, and just kind of how accurate it is now, especially in 2020. You look at it and you're like, it's kind of going that way.
Yeah, I mean, you got corporations basically ruling the police force. You've got them killing someone, actively going out of their way to hire to shoot a cop, so that way they can then bring said cop back as a RoboCop.
Yeah, like, I mean, but even like the callousness of like, hey, we were able to save the arm, and they're like, no, did he sign the waiver? Yeah, take the arm.
Yeah, great scene.
And but like for me, the movie is just unapologetically violent, but on top of it has a lot of heart. And I don't watch it because I'm like, hey, violence makes me feel great. Because like Back to the Future is a feel-good movie for me, stuff like that. But like people will look at Back to the Future and be like, I get why that's a feel-good movie. Mm-hmm. People don't always understand why RoboCop is my feel-good movie. It's because it's silly. And I think sci-fi, and we're getting to your pick next. I just shook my camera, but we're getting to your pick next. And I think this kind of solidifies my feeling of sci-fi movies are naturally feel-good movies in a lot of ways. Like, and I'm talking about sci-fi movies that, not the dystopian so much, as the sci-fi that are more kind of dreaming a little bit. Like, they may be weird, but
it pulls you out and just forces you to see a different world of what could be, to potentially jump into where we are now and what the reflection is of the times. And as much, I think the biggest symbol, I guess, the symbology there would be that
symbolism.
So one of the things there, what part of the symbolism is the fact that we could be better. And I think for people like you and I, it engages our brain to, why aren't we? How come we see this future and how come we aren't better? Why have we just humans are just humans? And then you also have to remember, well, I mean, people want to get upset about humans murdering each other through, let's say, lethal injection or things like that. But we as humans lit other humans on fire at a stake because we thought they were witches. Like, humans have never really been great. So sci-fi just gives us that lens of, it's going to take a lot to be better. And yet there are still paragons. There are still potential. There is the functional ability to be better.
And the perfect example of that is Gerard saying, violence makes me feel amazing. So that's right there. Casey's point is proven. You're supposed to be the madman. Why are you making so much sense?
Whoa. Because there is madness behind my method.
You know what? That's your new tagline.
I've been working on that one for like 20 years. Someone will finally pick it up. So why not this show? Why this show should be where it picks up.
We need individual posters. Yes. It's just you in a bathrobe and a Jane hat, just like, there's a method to my madness.
I love
just
it.
Crazy. Casey the Madman. I'm making them up.
Let's do it.
So talk about yours a little bit. I want to hear about your...
Well, it's not exactly small and it's not exactly big. It's somewhere in the middle. I found... wrong conversation. So... nothing from you? Come on, that was good.
I'm laughing. I just picked it up. I didn't get it at first. I was like, what movie is he talking about?
Let me talk about mine. So it's there were three that I had to choose
Ladies,
from.
It actually looks like an eggplant. Check it out on Twinder now.
Yes, that's how we're getting it. It's held back by a scrunchie. No.
Oh, Jesus. So if you get a picture of the emoji, it's actually the real thing. The real deal.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the movies I had, there were three. And one of them that I was immediately going to go to was Big Trouble in Little China, one of my all-time favorites. It's not.
Nice.
And then I jumped to the other one, which, oddly enough, True Lies. So kind of very much so in that action-y genre. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. But then I realized that the reason I really, really liked that movie was because of my nether regions. Because I think I first saw that movie when I was like 12 on VHS. So, of course, I'm a big fan. It's awkward and uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, she's all in her underwears. So that was fun and exciting. And great Firefly line from Nicole. Thank you. Oh, I can't know these things. Mal Reynolds, someone who should only be voiced and played by Nathan Fillion forever. So my final choice, as you and I realized, are both Paul Verhoeven fellas, because it is absolutely 100% Starship Troopers.
Yeah, and perfect example. Yes, and I think I know, and I think it's because of the same feeling.
Well, with Starship Troopers, you got to remember you're getting this full story from high school all the way through. So we're seeing the popular kid in high school struggle with trying to figure out what to do, making a relation or a life choice based on a relationship that isn't going to go anywhere, because how many people have high school relationships that last like 7? So the fact that we get to see that, feel that, and we deal with the loss. We deal with him actually finally getting the right person and maybe with the right girl and losing her. We deal with the people who paved his path, all of a sudden, gave Johnny Rico the skills and abilities, are dead. And the last guy that stuck with him is Ace. Everyone should have a friend like me. Like, I mean, if he's not one of the most uplifting sidekick sons of bitches I've ever met, I mean, Jake Busey, he's phenomenal, deserves in the Pantheon Hall of Fame of best friends.
He is truly a mensch.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get, I mean, and honestly, I brought this up to you yesterday in text message because it is true. There are a few things that make me as happy as Dizzy's boobs.
Yeah. And I told him I came back and was like, they played a divorced couple in All American.
I know you said
as soon as I saw that, like them both in it, it was all right. So real quick. So Casper Van Dien was on from like the beginning as a recurring role as one of the kids' fathers, and like he's like down and out after his divorce. The wife left him and everything. I know I'm going completely off the rails on this one. And then so I'm like, Casper Van Dien, that's cool, that's awesome. And then like we're watching it, my wife and I are watching it, and the mom shows up out of the blue to talk to the son, and I'm like, wait a second. It's like, that's Dina Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Casper Van Dien's his dad. What? Did they get Rico?
Alternate world
together? And I was like, oh, and it didn't work out. I was just like, oh man, it's just so much fun though.
Really is, but that's just one of those.
I don't know why I went in that.
That's just one of those movies, Starship Troopers. It gets me, man. I mean, it really does. Plus, at the end of the day, you're dealing with friendship. So you also still have Neil Patrick Harris, and the fact that he's still friends with Carmen and Johnny Rico. So they still have that connection. And quite frankly, anything that can be played as propaganda with would you like to know more? I mean, it just breaks up the movie well enough to make you believe that we're just following this one propaganda film about this one hero. And they're just using that as a recruiting tool. So at the end of this whole movie and watching this whole thing, you realize the war didn't stop. Nothing's ending. And they're just adding the next generation. They're prepping the next generation by saying, hey, if he can do it, you can. And that was something we deal with every fucking day. If you just watch the recruiting tools that are currently out, you want a new job, you want better skills, join, go fight. It's always go fight. And it hasn't changed, and it won't change since Roman times, if not before, and always after. But it makes me feel good, once again, because of Dizzy boobs.
Dizzy boobs are the way to go. And you know what? That's and you know what? Dizzy's great. And I think I like RoboCop because I love Nancy Allen. Lewis is a badass, just like Dizzy was a badass. So it's just a great role.
Yep. Paul Verhoeven, man, 2 for 2. Look at that. Our best movies to bring us out of funks, directed by a man who's probably crazier than us combined.
Don't doubt that at all, in any way, shape, or form. So, on that note, we're nearing the end, and we got a few announcements. So, Casey's joining us tomorrow on Behind the Box, and so's Gerard coming back. But we have 2 very special guests. Len and I are bringing on Mr. Blaine Weaver, who directed the movie Getaway, which comes out on December 22nd. Go check it out; it's a very cool slasher movie. A new meta twist on the Cabin in the Woods type of feel. So I dig it. And then we're also bringing on Ian and Esham Nelms, who are the directors of Fat Man, the movie we've been gushing about for weeks. But we're going to, it's not an interview. We're going to have on. We're going to do some fun. We're going to play some games. How long would you survive in a horror movie? We're going to be talking along the realm of who's your favorite psycho badass Santa. And, my answer may surprise some people. But, yeah.
I'm leaning towards Tim Allen, but we'll see.
It's not a bad choice. It's the Tim Allen, but the robot soldier Santa from Santa Claus.
Even
no,
better.
I'm just kidding. I came up with that off the cuff, but I think that still works. Maybe I won't make that the choice.
There you go.
So
you'll have to tune in and find out.
Yep, tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Is Behind the Box podcast here on the Scene Snobs channel. So just real quick, let me do a quick rundown. Rob Paints the Movies is no longer on the channel. We wish them all the best. It's a great show. Go check it out once they post where it's at. But we have Behind the Box tomorrow night, 7:30. Crossing the Streams with Jeff DeWoskin. He has a whole new panel of people where they talk TV. It's a lot of fun. That's live at 9:30 p.m. Here on the Scene Snobs channel. Then Thursday, we have the Sports Snobs at 6 p.m. And we have the Guapo Show at 9. And then we have the Mutant Pregame Show on... I'm going down the list. So we have the Mutant Pregame Show on 6 o'clock live on Friday. The NFL Pick Show will be out on Saturday. That's not live. You can just go check that out anytime. And Sunday night, my interview with CJ Graham. Go check that out. Or sign up for our Patreon, and you can get it 3 days early. Casey and I are going to have not just our Disney announcement show on our Patreon starting tomorrow, but next week, we're not only going to have our regular Christmas show for here, live with all of you, because we want to spend it with you, so join us. But we're also going to be doing our Festivus airing of grievances show on Patreon. So if you want to check that out, you got to join the tier to do it.
And let me just say, I got some bones to pick with you people.
We are going to go. We're going to go out on a pretty good way. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Really trashing 2020 and the people that inhabited it.
Well, all the people who made it difficult for me.
I love it. And me too. So it's going to be a good time. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, go to thescenesnobs.com. We have everything, all our schedule, the whole nine up there. So much fun. Next Monday, if you missed any shows this week, we're going to be doing a replay watch party here on Scene Snobs Facebook page. So just enjoy. Or you can catch our podcasts anywhere on any platform. You can catch this video on the YouTube channel. Just have fun, man. That's what it's all about.
That's the key. We only got one life. Make it good. Appreciate everybody. Be good to each other.
Have a good night, everybody.